Hey everybody, welcome back to Gillen's Garage. And look at this, I'm actually working on the van. But let me tell you, I feel like I'm moving that target further and further and further away. And so it's gonna be okay, because in the long run, I'll be better off. But let me show you what I got going on. So finally, a long-awaited progress and update on the Cummins van project. So here we go. Okay, so as usual, ignore the mess. But I got the van off the rack and sitting down here on that nice dolly I built. Worked pretty good. Had to put some 2x4s in there to block so it didn't sit on the AC lines. But otherwise, it rolled around nice because I had it sitting over here. I put it on that and I moved it over there, and here we go. I got the van frame on the rack, getting ready to install the front axle for the final time. At least I hope so. Still need to get the rear leaf spring perches welded in, but that's going to be probably one of the last steps. But I got the leaf springs in for the last time, and I'm going to start trying to do some of the plumbing work on this. I got the mounts bolted in, but I need a couple extra bolts to finish that up. And here's where I think I might have taken it a little bit too far. Let me grab this. But I went ahead and took all the wiring out from underneath the hood. So here's what I want to eliminate, stuff like this. These three and these two all went to the 351 Windsor. And basically, everything connected to this, which is the, electrical engine control or engine electrical control module, was attached to this. And so basically, all of these wires are things that I shouldn't need. But what's really the helpful saving grace with this whole thing is the 1990 Econoline van electrical and vacuum troubleshooting manual, right? So this is basically the blueprint for all of the wiring. So this is going to be paramount to making sure I don't cut anything out of this wire loom that I don't need. So let's go over and show you in the van. All right, so I figured I'd come over here to the van and kind of give you an idea of what I got going on here. As you can see, there's not a whole lot left, right? The heater core is out, the HVAC is out, obviously the doghouse cover's off. The vacuum booster, something I'm gonna be doing as well. So I got to give a shout out to my buddy Jacob from Montana. He reached out to me, and he's got a Econoline van. If you guys follow some of the Facebook groups, you might have seen it. It's like orange and gray. But he got his 5.9 Cummins in and a 5-speed. One of the questions I asked him, I said, well, how noisy is it? And he's like, well, it's a little bit noisy inside. So I was like, all right, I knew I was going to do sound abatement, but I figured I'm going to take it to the next level. So it's like, I'm going to tear all this stuff out. I'm going to insulate up here, maybe even take the cowl off and insulate everywhere I can. Yeah, so back under the hood here, just a couple other things. I went ahead and drilled all the rivets out for this when this was attached to the battery box. The other half was up there, and I'm not gonna run the batteries up under here. So, but not having this took the reinforcement away from this side of the radiator core support. So I went ahead and modified it, cleaned it up, have it here, and I'll just go ahead and weld this back into place to stiffen this up. Went ahead and drilled out. I need to finish drilling out this side. This is the factory radiator support hole on the passenger side. Here's the one for the driver's side, and I went ahead and just drilled this out. This is to mount the 7.3 IDI truck radiator, which fit in here perfectly, minus here's the original van mounting hole, and here's the truck mounting hole. So I'll get that cleaned up, get the rough edge off of that, and that'll be done. Get this welded in. I think what I'm actually going to do is, if you guys notice here, I took the main structure of the core support off. I'm probably just going to bolt that back into place so that it's easily removable if I have to pull the engine and I don't want to pull the body or something along those lines. But also, as I alluded here, I'm going to go with F Super Duty Hydro Boost, which will get rid of that big vacuum booster that was here. And that'll give me space beside this. And I was just looking at my OBS F350. The master cylinder bolts are vertical to one another. So I'm gonna have to remove this stiffening plate. This is double thick. I'm gonna have to remove it. It's smooth on the inside. So, and I'm hoping that I can bolt the clutch master cylinder right here. So more to come on that. I did end up buying a parts truck that I'm gonna take, an F Super Duty parts truck, that I'm gonna be able to take the master cylinder out, the brake master cylinder, and use it for testing to see how well everything lines up as far as getting the pin. Let me see if I can get a shot. Yep, right there. Now this isn't bolted in place because it actually bolts through this, so it's kind of loose in there, yet. But I want to make sure that the alignment for that lines up perfectly. So I'm anxious to get that truck home, but there's a couple things I got to do yet before I can do that. So this is where I think that I might have taken it just a little bit too far, but I got the 87. I can use that as a guide to get it back together. So anyhow, it's kind of an update of what we got going on. I'll show you under the dash here. Switch around. So here's what I got going under the dash. This, as soon as I took this off, fell down. So that wasn't really doing much. That goes up there, but clearly wasn't doing anything. The glue wasn't holding it. But I went ahead and got some of that, I don't know, the Kill Mat or Dynamat or whatever. But I've started to insulate that because, you know, this is just a sound box, giant metal dash here. So I'm going to go ahead and insulate all of that, insulate all the firewall, insulate both the inside and the outside with the Dynamat, and then put some hood liner on the inside of this. And this is in really good condition, this jute matting. So I'm going to try to glue it back up and maybe even get a little bit of foam behind that as well. But still a bit of mess under here. And, you know, even some interesting things like, you know, clearly somebody must have been working on this. If I get to clear up, yeah, like right here, you can see where somebody was poking at that wire and that one with a test probe. And this is the inertia switch for the fuel pump, right? Well, I'm mechanical fuel pump with a Cummins diesel, so that won't be needed. So I guess I'll be taking out some of the wiring out from underneath here. But what I was getting at was, look at this. Yeah, that's all a little bit of heat. So definitely something I think I want to get rid of. If I don't need it, I don't want it causing me any issues. So again, not super organized in the old van, but I'm making strides. All right, guys. Well, I hope you appreciate a little bit of an update on this. And if you see something I got going here that I could be doing better, or you guys got any advice for me with sound deadening or the wiring, that one worries me a good bit. But if you see something here that you think you can help me out with, please shoot me a comment. Look up Gillen's Garage on Facebook. You can send me a message there. My email address, I think, is on the channel about information. But shoot me a message. Help me out. That's what it's all about, right? We're trying to help one another out. And hopefully you guys see something here that I'm doing that you think, hey, that's cool. I'm going to do that, or something here is helpful to you. Now, this was kind of just an update, just kind of let you know what is going on here with the van. And so more to come. Fall's coming. Hopefully the weather will be a little cooler. I'll get more time to get out here and work. So stay tuned for more to come. and I hope you dig it. Thanks a lot.